Bettie, what brought you to using forensics to teach chemistry to non-majors at St. Vincent's?
Anytime we do a non-major science course, we have to have some kind of hook to bring the students in, because otherwise they're just going to not think science has anything to do with them at all. And about the time I was looking at different science courses that we had, this was the time when CSI, NCIS, all of these shows were getting really popular, and people were absolutely falling in love with these shows. And I watched them a couple of times and suddenly realized that no, that what they're doing is not totally and completely incorrect, but it's not totally and completely correct either. And I decided, let's start looking at the real science behind it. So I started using some case studies that I found along the way to teach the students the science or the chemistry behind some of the tests that were used to either incarcerate or set free a particular person. And the students at that point drove me to do more and more cases, because they were sitting there thinking, if we get one wrong, how many others have we gotten wrong that we don't know about? And so that drove me to search for even more cases. And so basically the course became a case study all the way through. Because every topic we covered, we had a specific case that we could go back to and use. So how about you, Linden? What drove you to this point?
Well, I was hired into my department specifically to replace a faculty member who had been teaching forensic biology. And she had been using a very traditional forensics in order to teach people about DNA and genetics approach. And I thought there was a real lost opportunity there, because my foundational interest in teaching science for non-science majors is to talk about the nature and process of science in the context of human society. And forensics offers a lot of opportunities to talk about the abuse of science and how science can be used or misused, and how it's influenced by societal mindset and about what people are and stereotypes. And so I was very interested in how to knit my personal interests in how science is done to forensics, and came to you at the Las Cruces meetings a few years ago to talk about how you were doing this. And it was the first time I'd even thought about doing a case study approach. And the case studies are so enriching for this. So, but I'm teaching 120 students at a large public institution. Now, they are mostly white, 98% white, but it's a different context from what you're dealing with.
Much more. I teach at a small private Catholic college in southwestern Pennsylvania, who has a total of 1,600 students total. And I have maybe 18 to 20 students in my class at a time. And again, the distribution, the racial distribution is about the same, but we're looking at two different populations here, but using the same cases for two totally different populations.
Right. So what we're planning on doing in this workshop is modeling how you can take a model course from Sensor and adapt it to your own context. We are also going to give participants the opportunity to do a case study, and then talk about using a case study approach to meet some of the goals of their courses, and in particular as a way to bring social justice conversations to your students in a science context. So we're really hoping people will come and participate in SSI 2020 and join us for a conversation around a case study approach to teaching social justice.
And all the different aspects that go into the case studies with the social justice. I hope people will come.